Hi, I'm Dr. Deb, Learning Strategies Department Chair, Learning Frameworks Instructor, and as you can tell, I have several roles at the college. This is the 10th and final video in a series looking at the transition issues new college students often face. In today's video, I'm exploring the issue of roles in college and how students may or may not take on that new role. I'm also exploring the learning theory of attribution and the learning strategy of self-directed learning. Finally, we are looking at the self-reflection principle of self-monitoring. Victoria College's Total Learning Center presents Dr. Deb Explains Transition Issue Number 10, Roles. We all have various roles that we assume throughout life. We are sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, employers, employees, wives, husbands, and when we enter college, we are now new college students. This is important because social identity theory tells us that our identities change depending on the groups that we are around. For example, we often act one way hanging out at the club with our friends on Saturday night and an entirely different way when we go to church with our families on Sunday morning. This is completely normal because we assume these identities based on our roles. This means that you shouldn't be uncomfortable if you start acting in a different way now that you are a college student, especially when you are on campus or with other college students. The issue that arises is that some college students do not feel comfortable with this new role. They do not feel like college material, or they may feel uncomfortable when they have to put college over family, especially if the student is a first-generation college student, or when they hang out with old friends who aren't in college and the only thing they can think about is college-related stuff to talk about. Attribution theory goes along with this issue because it is looking at one's attributes or characteristics. As we become new college students, we gain those attributes. However, with attribution theory, we are more concerned with how we now attribute our successes and our failures. For example, when something good happens, do you say it was luck, like those people with a fixed mindset? Or do you say it was your hard work that made it happen, like those with a growth mindset? When you fail a test, do you blame the teacher for not telling you what to study? Or do you say that you need to study more and do better next time? At its core, attribution theory looks at where we place the credit or the blame surrounding the things that happen to us. There are a lot of aspects to attribution theory that can overwhelm people, but in essence, all we are asking as you assume your new roles, both now and in the future, is that you look at where you are placing the credit and the blame. Are you owning your successes and your failures, or are you attributing them to someone or something else? Self-directed learning sounds a lot like self-regulated learning, and they are connected a bit. A self-directed learner takes the initiative to make sure that all of the self-regulating behaviors happen. A self-directed learner uses all of the strategies at his or her disposal in order to learn without being told to do so. In fact, you could say throughout this whole semester, we have been giving you the tips, tools, and strategies to ensure that you take on the new role of a self-directed learner as you transition to college. Cusio's self-reflecting principle includes self-monitoring. These are the tips that we have for you in the course guide. As you go through your college classes, you should be thinking about what you are learning and monitoring that knowledge to see if you are learning it correctly and at the appropriate pace. If you aren't, then you need to use a different strategy the next time. Essentially, this principle is just ensuring that you are asking these questions. Am I doing what I should be doing? If not, what can I do instead? Am I being a self-directed learner? If you are doing these things, then you are fulfilling your role as a new college student. That's it for the transition issues that new college students often face. If I've missed a transition issue that you think should be included, leave a comment below. And thanks for watching. Dr. Deb Explains.